All right, guys, Mongo here. Been focusing a lot on Bitcoin. Now I've switched my focus to Ethereum at the moment. This is on log or not log, is it? Excuse me. But in the short term here, we've got Ethereum ready to bust out. So meanwhile, while Bitcoin is kind of consolidating and slightly grinding higher, by the way, both Ethereum and Bitcoin and most other coins had a nice bullish close for the weekly, so that's really positive. That's why I'm showing you this. And if I zoom in, you'll see we're battling / breaking out of our bull flag. So I am expecting a continuation higher, maybe up to $4,400, which is the 886, which is the same spot I believe Bitcoin is battling right now on its chart. So I'd expect a breakout as high as $5,200 in the next 6 to 8 weeks for Ethereum. What I'd like to see is a back test of the old all-time high and then consolidation on top of that. So you want to build on support, right? So keep in mind though, the 1618 is up here at 73.30. To give you an idea, that is only a 88% move from where we are now. So it could happen quite quickly. This candle right here was a 25 or 30% candle that we had to push us up. Yeah, so that was a 29% candle. So things are really starting to heat up. Let me zoom in for you here on the 4-hour. And you can see we are flip-flopping right on this yellow line I have is the upper trend line for the bull flag. We're kind of getting a double top, but as long as we're kind of consolidating here, the weekly VWAP, we're just below it currently on the 4-hour, on the 1-hour. Let my stuff catch up. Yeah, we're kind of rejecting from it currently. As long as we're above the previous day high, I'm good. We're just going to consolidate, in my opinion. It's the U.S. markets are off today, so we're relying on pretty much the next 2 hours. London closes, and then nothing happens for another 12 hours until Asia picks back up. So I don't see much price action. I could see consolidation and a push higher. We could even come as low and retest this value area high we had previously at 38.42. And then you've got a bunch of other stuff like the previous day open, EQ are down here, the weekly open, it's all down here. So we're above a lot of stuff. So we're very bullish currently. As long as we consider to move sideways, we're doing great. So that's Ethereum. Money flow is still there, but you got to keep in mind it's almost like a weekend. When the U.S. markets, as big as they are closed, you're not really going to have too much of a push. So really you got 90 minutes before pretty much things go quiet until Asia picks back up tonight, about 12 hours, like I said, from now. The Asian markets have already handed off to London, so London's had it for a good 6 hours now, and they should close here shortly. So again, in my estimation, roughly 60 to 90 minutes from now in my recording. So there's not much else to talk about. We're just waiting for consolidation. Very, again, bullish weekly close, in my opinion. If you look at the weekly candle, and I'll show you Bitcoins as well. You had a nice, I mean, look at this candle. Jesus. Excuse my language there, but you know, you had again a 30% candle. So you had you engulfed literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You engulfed 8 weeks of candles, almost 9, not quite. So, and then this current candle is engulfing the last 10 weeks total. So if we stay above this, we're above the past 10 weeks of price action. I explained yesterday, Bitcoin as an inverse head and shoulders is playing out with a target of $78,000, excuse me, $73,000. No, $78,000, excuse me. So things are bullish in my opinion. So this is just consolidation. It's a good time to dollar cost average. I wouldn't be selling anything at this point in time unless you're in a leverage trade like I am for this one. I took some profits just in case this thing like sweeps back down. I'm in down here. I got into this guy here, and I'm up quite a bit. So I do have some profits. Hopefully, I'm expecting a continuation higher. Everything looks like it. So hopefully I can hold 25% of this trade for the rest of the year. It'd be nice and kind of get, even though it's not a very big position, it's just nice to see something run like that. A scalp turn into an actual longer term position. All right, so that is Ethereum, Bitcoin, the corn, as everybody calls it. We are a little more floppy gropey. We're not exactly as bullish. But as I showed you yesterday, the weekly is bullish. I'll flip into this here for you. Yeah, so not exactly as pretty on the weekly. Let's go to the daily. All right, 4 hours where I drew it on. Sorry, it's still kind of ugly. There you go. It kind of matches better. Again, this is an art form. It's not all perfect, but you can visually see the inverse head and shoulders. You've got a neckline. We've back tested that as support, and we're still moving higher. So as long as we stay above pretty much 60, we'll call it $67,000, you're bullish for Bitcoin. So as long as we consolidate where we are, we're fine. I'm not really too worried about it. Zoom in some more for you and give you some indications. Some monthly VWAPs way down here. We are below the weekly VWAP. And really, we just have a falling channel. There's nothing here. I was looking for some divs. I don't see anything. I haven't looked at XR charts today. Could do something like that. So it could come down. Hit the daily low again. We're at the daily open on the hourly, the weekly open as well. So we could just see some consolidation, even a flush, take out some liquidity right here and then go. Or it could come back down to 67,750 is kind of where I was watching. I think that's the 618 of this pull here. Excuse me. All right, so 67,976 is the pull for that one. If you pulled it from this one, yeah, I like that better. Kind of like 67, we'll call it 750, 790, somewhere in that range. Been front running the 618 a lot, so either you tag it to the dot or you front run it. So that's why I have the 0.5 fib in there as well. Asia seems to like that one along with the 886. So we could get a cascading liquidity grab where literally it just comes rocketing back down, grabs the liquidity, and then completely rockets back up, back tests again, and then we're off to the races. So it's happened many times, but it seems like they've been sneaky really. They do like a slow grind, and then all of a sudden it has a candle that does one of these. So the problem is, will we keep that candle if and when we get it? So again, a lot of low volume today. You can see it. It's just small. And then with New York being closed, I don't see much happening. Let's see. Do we have any pulse chain updates on this guy? So let's go to the 4 hour. Heard the chart's been updating itself. It looks about right. So it is an ugly chart currently speaking. Let me update this for you. This is not the time to sell. This is the time to buy. So yeah, this is a value area. This is where you want to buy. This is a discount zone. Anything below the value area low is a zone. It's a great buy zone. Anything below we're the point of control, which is coming in at 9,900. They're currently sitting at 5,000. So that would be a move of about 100%, 95%. You want to get back above the yearly VWAP up here at 11,000. I'll call it 912, which is now roughly, grab it for you right there, up to that. Another 130% move. Keep in mind, Pulse chain is bigger, so it will move slower. It is the big boy. So it's going to have more liquidity, more whales in it. You've got people that have nearly $500 million apparently in Pulse chain, if you believe the wallets that aren't Richard Hart. So they would be selling like crazy if you got a big pump. At least I would think. But if you got up to the all-time highs again, they'd have over $1 billion worth of Pulse chain. So I don't know how that's going to work out in terms of sell pressure. If they're smart, they will just slowly scale out $1 million a day like everybody else would that has a bunch of money and not affected liquidity. And they continue to sell $1 million a day. So that won't crush the price. That'll allow people to get out. And there's other avenues to do so. So yeah, they could actually even start using these other liquidity farms / loans. There's flash loans where you can literally put your $500 million in PLS and take out a synthetic ETH, pretty much get a synthetic version of that as a loan. So you get 75% or 80% of your money in USDC and let it go to work, and you let them hold it. And that price really rockets. You don't have to worry about selling it. You already have your money. So these whales have options that people don't really think about. So, and we're not even including potentially centralized exchanges. At some point, we'll add liquidity as well. I think Inc is going to be the easiest one to get on a centralized exchange, followed by PLSX, and then Pulse will be the last one. And then if Hex is on all the exchanges, it's going to be a big difference. But keep in mind, Hex had a big move of 4 to 6 months, the last market cycle, but it was also not even 1/6 the size of this massive ecosystem we have now. So more people, you want to flush out here at the bottom, the faster it's going to move higher, the faster you're going to see your 9 to 10x. And by the way, my projection for Pulse chain is not exactly that high. My 3/4 of a penny is only at 29x. So it's not like you're expecting the world, right? It's something that's realistic. So that's that. There's nothing I can say. It's going to help you guys. Just follow the charts. Summertime is supposed to be slow, so I'm expecting it actually to be busy because, expectations are meant to be crushed. And when no one's paying attention is when price creeps up. Hex did the same thing. No one was paying attention to Hex, and Hex just kept doubling and doubling and doubling before anybody knew it. And then all of a sudden he had FOMO in at the very last 25%. I think you're going to see the same thing for a lot of coins here coming up. So nothing I say is financial advice. Best of luck. You want to find me here at a Crypto Blackwall on Twitter and the Blackwall Discord. Thanks.